kultura at lengguwahe, nagkakaisa at nananatiling solido. Ito ang INC Radio.
Palaging konektado sa lahat ng mga tao. This is INC Radio. Anywhere in the world, oh, we are always together, connected to everyone. Life will be better.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're tuning in. I'm Sister Jamie from Austin, Texas, and welcome to INC Radio Texas. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Sister Wendy. Sister Wendy, how are you doing tonight?
Doing really well, Sister Jamie, and I'm excited because today's topic, fall semester check-in, it brings some really good memories back. And I believe we also have our panelists joining in with us. How are you doing, Sister Abby?
Hello, good evening. I'm doing well. I hope everyone else is doing good as well. How about you, Sister Hanny?
Hi, Sister Abby. Thank you so much. And hi also to our host, Sister Jamie and Sister Wendy. Thank you for having me here on INC Radio.
We definitely love having you, both of you here. And so I think today we're talking about fall semester check-in. And before we kind of dive in, we do have our question of the day, which is, what are some of the biggest challenges students face during this time of year? So viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do leave your comments in the chat and we will read them throughout the show. We'd love to hear from you and also let us know where you're tuning in from. So I guess we can start with Sister Jamie. We can talk about a little bit, what does your fall semester look like? So I'd like to start with Sister Abby.
So for me, I am currently a senior in high school, which means not only am I focusing on my schoolwork, trying to study for midterms, but also college applications. Trying to write those college essays, trying to fill out the scholarships. So it's a lot of balancing a lot of different things. It does get kind of hard sometimes, but I think I'm doing pretty well, I'd say so. What about you, Sister Hanny?
Let me tell you first, Sister Abby, that you got it. Senior year is definitely fun, especially for college applications. But yeah, we're here to cheer you on. For me, I am in college and I recently just started again. So before this semester, I took a break from college, and I am starting again. So that definitely is the challenging part. I feel like for a lot of things, starting is what is hard. So since I'm starting again, I kind of had to look back on what I did for school and, had to prepare myself, prepare for the classes and the midterms and just all the assignments. I feel like I took such a long break. So it's very challenging for me right now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of challenges, I think anytime you probably want to restart, like I can speak for myself. I don't know how many times I've tried to reboot myself to go back to school because I truly believe it's never too late to go back to school. You can always continue your education. And the best part of it all, you can even pivot, from your current, career or kind of like what you're taking because there's I mean again like the world is your oyster so you can be truly like anything and everything that you want to be, right? So let's talk about challenges. I think I like for me like the restarting and kind of like just getting that motivation again, and sometimes even the challenge of like not even knowing what the requirements are like anymore, like if you're going to like restart like like your kind of like continued education. Sister, like Abby, you kind of mentioned that you're it's a bit of a balancing act for in terms of your challenges that you're facing right now this fall semester. Like what are ways I guess you've kind of like overcome like these challenges? Like how do you actually balance that act, and how do you balance your time really? Like do you kind of like tell yourself, okay, like Monday Tuesdays I'm going to work on like work like studying up on kind of like my midterms exams and things like that. So like I mean, do you have kind of like a formula or something that you're following right now?
That's a great question. Well, for me, I like I'm kind of a type A person, so I really like scheduling my days out. I keep like an agenda with me just so that I know deadlines and when I should get things done. Um, and also, since I do have duties in the church as well, keeping a schedule and being able to kind of like list out everything that I need to get done really does help because, it's how I keep track of everything that's being thrown at me. So I know it doesn't work for everyone. I know personally some of my friends are kind of more I don't know the right word. They kind of just go with the flow. But for me, like I feel like in order to, you know, really get my stuff together, I need to be like I need like a linear vision of what I'm doing for me personally. Um, so just something that I've managed to learn throughout my school career. So.
That's awesome. I'm totally with you on that one. And I'm sure you probably feel so accomplished, like once you've kind of checked off, that list along the way. Sister Hanny, I know for you it must be a huge adjustment, coming back to school. Like what was your motivating factor, like to really like say, you know what, I got to do this. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to like head on, I'm going to dedicate it 100%. So what was that process like for you?
Well, for me, I actually missed like being in class and learning. Um, I realized that when I wasn't in school, that I loved learning so much. In high school, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be more relaxed. I won't do too much. But when I was out of school, I kind of missed it. Like I liked to take in information. So like now that I started again, first of all, I looked at mm, what failed me in college, like the what I did that didn't work for me. The first time I went to college, so I had to actually sit down and talk to myself, and what did I do wrong? So I had to get that out of the way, and I told myself, this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna like Sister Abby. I actually bought like a whole calendar, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write it all down, and every day I have this like to-do list, and that helped me a lot. I'm also a type A person, I would say, so I like to see what I have to do, like everything in front of me. So Yeah, that's the first thing I did. I had to like motivate myself and just do it. And I had to just start. And now I'm here in school again.
Well, I guess it's basically you just have to start, right? Like you got to start somewhere. And I think it's it's I like the fact that you had to reassess also, right? Like kind of what did I do wrong in the first time that I tried to do this that didn't work for me? But then like having it's a good thing that you went through that path because then you're able to then say, you can kind of pick and choose like this didn't work, this worked. So, therefore I'm going to apply those that work for me. Sister Wendy, you're also kind of in a very interesting industry because and like you, I think yours also has like, like these seasons, right? For like when you're busy and you have to prepare yourself. Or is that kind of like an all year round thing for you? I just kind of was thinking about like what you do for a living. And I'm just thinking there's got to be like seasons or times of the year where, you also have to kind of go get over that, like the challenges of like motivating yourself or kind of getting it done. Like when does that happen for you?
Yeah, there are certainly busy seasons, but there's also just kind of downtime seasons. But I will say the habits that I kind of cultivated, or through trial and error, kind of like what Sister Hanny said. Hey, what didn't work? So let me reflect a little bit, think about it, and then try another way. So some of the habits through that really helped carry over, especially with time management, planning. So I kind of smiled a little bit in the background here when Sister Abby and Sister Hanny were saying they were also, looking on the style of more planning out. Hey, here's all the things that I want to achieve, and how do I get there? And so, just out of curiosity question, I do know, life is life. So things don't always go as planned. So I'm just curious. So far, has there been any unexpected challenges or any opportunities that popped up? And let's start with Sister Abby.
Yes, definitely. I think just overall the workload is a lot, um, especially with all the college level classes and extracurriculars as well. It's really hard to stay motivated. Um, Procrastination is my middle name. So,
It is a challenge. You're not alone there.
yeah, so it's just, I guess the burnout, you could say. But, it's something I've been trying to work on.
Yeah. And any inspirations so far to help you kind of walk out of the burnouts and keep you going?
Mm, Not necessarily an inspiration, I would say, but I like to keep graduation in the back of my mind. Just knowing that I'm basically like at the finish line, as some might say. So I just gotta power through it whenever I'm thinking about all the assignments I have to do. So
Factor as well. How about you, Sister Hanny? Any unexpected challenges or opportunities that popped up so far?
Yeah, so the challenge for me again was like starting, but something that an opportunity that came out of that actually is me finally switching into a major that I've been wanting. So I just kind of took that opportunity since I'm starting again anyway, might as well. So before I was taking psychology, which I really like too. It was very interesting. It was a very interesting major, but now I shifted to paralegal, and that's what I actually been wanting to go to, um, to get into. So yay, I did that. I took the opportunity to switch into that major and go for it.
Yeah, that's amazing that you, just grasped that opportunity. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And I do see a lot of our viewers are leaving comments. So let's see who is tuning in with us. So we do have Thomas Conroy from the local of Killeen, District of Texas. Happy viewing. And we do have um, Ivan Mesa from local of Humble and username LJ Talents. Hello to our INC Radio Texas family and friends. Greetings to the brethren of Corpus Christi. We do have Brother Ramel. Hello to all. Well, happy viewing from Killeen, Texas. And we also have Brother Matt Talents. Hello, Po, to our District Minister, Brother Noel Caritativo, and to our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chody Sampson. Greetings from Corpus Christi. And we do also have username Aiden from Sugarland and also Sister Lil Beth. Greetings to all our brethren and friends who are tuned in, watching from Corpus Christi, District of Texas. Hashtag Think Big Texas, INC Radio. Oh, thank you. And we do have Ricky Bravo, Sugarland. Hello and happy viewing from, all right. And we do have username Imari Moreno. Have a good weekend from Universal City. Yes, I am very much looking forward to the weekend. And let's see who else we also have viewing with us. We also have username Mario Oka. Good day here in the Philippines and stay safe, brethren. Greetings from the local of Brixtonville, District of Calocane North. And I'm so sorry if I did not pronounce that correctly. So please do keep on leaving your message, and we'd also love to hear from you. Especially our question of the day is, what are some of the biggest challenges students face during this time of year? And I think, Sister Jamie, I believe we do have another segment that's coming up. And I think that is.
Yes, we do. And so, I mean, now that we talked about kind of their motivating factors and, like their goals for the end of the semester, our next segment is, where would you study? So
Ooh,
it's a little game that we're going to play, and feel free to anyone, and even our viewers who are tuning in, feel free to like leave your answers on the comments below, just so like, yeah, be part of this game. So where would you study? Okay, how it works. So we got various studying. Okay, so there's going to be various studying areas. Situations will be displayed on a slide, and participants must state and explain why they would or wouldn't study there. Okay. All right, let's play this game.
all right, I think we're ready.
Where would you study? Okay, are you talking about the highway or the beach or the lake shore? I just see this stretch of, would I study at a beach or a lake shore?
I wouldn't study on the highway, I'll tell you that for sure.
I'm just looking at the road. It's like there's a highway or kind of like a little roadway there. Okay, let me ask our panelists, and Sister Wendy, would you study at a beach or a lake shore?
Ooh, I would have to say a hard no because I would be so distracted and I wanted to just hang out at the beach all day and I wouldn't be able to focus. But I'm also curious, how about Sister Abby? How about you?
Yes, I agree with Sister Wendy. As much as I love the beach and as much as I love the ocean, I don't think it's a great studying area. Just also because it's so hot and humid, especially in Texas. Like, just the heat itself would lull me to sleep. Like, I don't really think I would be able to study at
I was thinking the same
all.
thing, that I would just get sleepy. But what about you, Sister Hanny? Yes, yay or nay?
Oh man, I feel like I would. I don't know. I like the nature, so if you're talking about just a chill, relaxing day at the beach, I can just sit there, not by myself. Maybe I can just put on my headphones and like study. I feel like that's what I would do. But if
I
it's very busy, then maybe not.
I actually see a comment here from Brother Byrne, one of our very own crew members, who says, "I would like to go to the beach, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to study in that place." Yeah, I kind of, I, I kind of agree with him, but honestly, for me, I would love to study at the beach
That's
or
not.
Lake Shore because, of course, in Austin, Texas, we don't have. We're not near the coast. We're near rivers and lakes, so
Mhm.
so a lake shore. But It depends where on
Where?
along the lake shore. Is there a picnic table? Is there a pavilion I can study at? Uh because the sun here can be pretty blazing hot, so I need to make sure I have all my what's the word, amenities.
Dear audience, please sound off in the comments. Will you study there or not? Okay, where would you study? Museums. Sure. It's quiet enough, especially if I'm studying, and it just so happens that the subject matter is in a museum. Totally. What about all of you? Like what would you study in a museum?
There
I would,
actually oh,
yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
there actually was a time when I actually had a project to do at a museum. Yeah, and it was actually really cool because our professor was willing to give us the class day off so we could focus on this said project and see what the museum was about, what it covered, if it related anything to our course. And I'm like, oh wow, I get to give myself a field trip for a free 100, and then I did. How about for our other panelists? Would you study at a museum?
And actually, just to chime in on the field trip and museum, so much younger, like elementary school field trips, I remember we always had these assignment sheets that we had to complete. So in a way, it's also kind of like studying in a museum. For me personally, it's pretty enjoyable in there. How about you, Sister Hanny?
Um, Probably not. I don't know if I like the environment being in a enclosed. That's probably just my personal preference. I like to be outside. But probably not in a museum. Yeah.
It is very different from the beach for sure. Oh, in a
Where would you study
classroom.
class after hours? Is this in a classroom? Is this a classroom?
Yes.
It
Would you
looks like a
study?
courtroom. So
Oh,
is it
it's a classroom. It's definitely a classroom. I
you
think this is
know
I think it's one of those collaboration classrooms.
Okay. I would just so I can get ahead of my homework so I don't have to do it when I get home and I can watch my, afternoon cartoons. So yes.
That's what I would do, Sister Jamie. I would definitely stay after hours, after a class, to just finish everything, get a head start for the next, assignment.
You know, there actually was a time when, well, where was I? Like, we were in class, and it was already 20 minutes in, but the professor hasn't shown up yet. We were like, did he send an email? Is class canceled, or is class postponed, or something like that? We're looking through our emails, and we're like, no, he didn't say anything. And then students just start leaving one by one, and then I see them leaving. I'm like, oh, leaving. I'm staying. I already have a table here. I have a quiz today. I'm studying for that. And it was a really good environment because big room to yourself, it's quiet, and then table, and then it's not too quiet where I'm gonna fall asleep. It's not too noisy where I'm going to not concentrate. I don't think we heard from Sister Abby yet. Would you study in a classroom after hours?
Well, as a high schooler, we kind of can't do that.
Well, would you
But
if you had the opportunity? Because I think some schools, I don't know if yours does this, some schools open a little later because some of them need to get extra help from their teachers.
yes. Well, me personally, if it was just me by myself in an empty classroom, I feel like it would feel a little eerie just because it's like such a large space and such a quiet atmosphere. I think I'd much rather prefer to study in like the school library, just so that there's something else in the room other than myself. But maybe not a classroom.
I get it. Makes sense. That eerie feeling, you're like, I get it. Would you study in a gymnasium or weight room? No, I don't think I would. S- Especially if there's like a lot of, like people are playing sports and bouncing balls on the gym floor. It'd be really noisy. So that would be, yeah,
I
no.
actually did once.
You did? What were you studying? Do you
Were you
remember?
productive?
Yeah.
Um, I I productive? Yes. How productive was I? I will not confirm any details. I mean, it's just it was just one of those different environments. And where was I? What was I doing at this time? I think, yeah, I think I was watching a basketball game with my friends, and then of course I had these assignments to do. So while we were watching, I'm just like, okay, a few more questions. All right. Oh yeah, yeah, defense, yay. Okay, okay, now back to these questions. Oh, okay, so that's why. Okay, all
So
right,
you're
I'm done. I'm done.
multitasking then.
Multitasking, yeah. Is it the best? Not the best, but it's a good change in environment. As far as weight room, um, I guess if you're in the lobby, then yes. If you're on the actual floor, to me, I'm not sure if that's the safest. I mean, it just depends how you're doing. Like, watch. Maybe you're doing bicep curls, and you're just like, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, what's the next one?
That's too much coordination for me. Would I study at a restaurant? Maybe a coffee shop, but not a restaurant. No, what do y'all think?
What difference does it make? They both serve refreshments.
I suppose. But I don't know. Like this kind of reminds me of like, this is like your after school hangout with your friends where you all put your monies together to buy like fries and a Coke or something like that. And you just sit there and talk about, I don't know,
Life.
life and school stuff and, so yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't get a lot of studying done.
There was a time when we actually did try study at a coffee shop, but little did we know that the place was closing sooner than we thought. And then the next place over actually was a restaurant. So we're just like, okay, let's just go there. The lights in there are brighter anyway, so we can stay awake. So we'll just study in there until we need to go home. What about from our other panelists?
I feel like if you're a student, wherever it is, if it even if it's a beach, a restaurant, if you have to do your assignments and study, you'd go anywhere and do it.
See, see,
Just make it work.
that's the thing about semester breaks. You don't go on vacation. You just relocate to do more work. Sister Jamie, I think you're muted.
Oh, yes, I am. Would I study in a zoo? I guess it depends, right? Like if my subject matter that I am studying for happens to be in a zoo, yes, I would. I don't know about you. Would you study in a zoo?
Probably not. I would be very distracted by all the cute animals there. Yeah. What about, well, the animals would probably be studying me more than I'm studying what I'm supposed to be studying.
Well,
Yeah.
it depends what you're studying, though. What if you're studying, um, what's that? Is zoology the study of animals? I know there's a course for it, but I forgot the word for it.
Now, I see your point. Like, if it's a relevant topic, then that could perhaps work. Yeah.
What if you're
But
studying the what if you're studying the behavior of bears? Hmm?
yeah, okay. Then if that's the case, yeah, I would study at the zoo. Um, yeah.
Okay, all right. Now we actually have one more, and I actually wanted to show this one because we actually did a similar segment like this um, uh, a few months ago, and I want to know from our panelists here. And this one is actually very important for everyone to know. I really want to know what everyone else's answer is. Would you study in the bathroom?
I see you're saving the best for last.
Well, it depends. I'm going to leave it at that. Use your imagination.
I
That's a
mean, I mean,
very smart
I mean,
answer.
just, just think about it, okay? So, you're about to go to class, you have an exam, all the tables in the cafeteria are taken, the library is too noisy, and then the class is lining up, ready to go inside. You have nowhere else to go, but then you see.
It's just too gross. I'm sorry. Because then, if you think about it, like your school campus, I imagine, especially out here in Texas, they're probably massive. You got, I'm sure there's like some corner in some school that's quiet, that doesn't get a lot of traffic. That's where I would go about this. I don't want to know what anybody else is doing, what business they're doing in there. So it's like, I don't know. Well, what do you guys think?
I see a comment here from Sister Tony Rose Valenzuela, and she says, post something on the mirror while you're brushing your teeth. And she also says put use dry erase markers on the mirror, but I'm pretty sure she means the one at home. Please don't do the ones that are in public. And I think Sister Tony and Brother Bern are having a little uh a fun conversation with with each other in the live YouTube chat. And oh, looks like we also have another comment here from our beloved, from our very own district supervising minister, Brother Noel Caritativo, who says who's actually saying welcome to Spring Extension, Brother Kevin and Sister Army. And we have also the resident minister of San Antonio, Texas, Brother David Donomy, tuning in with us. And we also have Don Kabambang, who's tuning in from Houston, Texas. And we also have there was another comment here that I wanted to read. There was, oh, looks like we also have some comments from Melanie Fortes. I think she was answering a question of the day, who says it's definitely midterm season. Agree that burnout is the most difficult part during this time. So to all the students out there, happy studying. Okay, so Sister Jamie, back to you.
Well, that was, like all things, like all good things, good things must come to an end. So I think that'll do for our INC Radio Texas show for this evening. I totally agree that, dear students out there, take it easy, be gracious to yourself, be kind to yourself. Sometimes, life does happen and it's okay. But also keep that eye on the prize. And so, truly, happy studying and happy rest of your fall semester. And so, as we wrap this topic up, I hope everyone that's tuning in, keep the conversation going in that in our chat. We'd love to hear more from you all. And again, thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us. And before we go on our separate ways, we would like to thank our CFO Overseer, Brother Archie Talons, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Chody Sampson, our District Supervising Minister, Brother Noel Caritativo, our Executive Producer, Brother Emmanuel Andaya, our CFO Coordinator and CEBSI CEO, Brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, and most especially our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Tune in to INC Radio Texas next Friday at 9 p.m. Central, or, if, I don't know what that is in other time zones, but do tune in. And on, oh, sorry, there it is, 9 p.m. Central Time, and Saturday, 10 a.m. Philippine Time. I know that you must have all like some shout outs. So we'll start with Sister Abby. Do you have any shout outs for this evening?
Sure. Thank you for having me on INC Radio once again. Always a pleasure to be here. But I'd like to shout out the local congregation of San Antonio. Thank you for tuning in.
Sister Hanny. A warm welcome back, by the way.
Yes, thank you, Sister Jamie. It's always very nice. And I actually missed to be here on INC Radio. Shout out to the local congregation of Edinburgh. I think some of them also tuned in tonight. So thank you for having me, Sister Jamie.
Sister Wendy, do you have any shout outs for this evening?
Yeah, of course. Special shout outs to all our viewers, and especially students who are currently studying for their midterms, and just for everyone that's tuning in. And of course, always a special shout out to local of Houston.
Brother Justin, got any shout outs this evening?
Of course, a shout out to, of course, everyone here in the local congregation of Austin, and also, of course, to all of my family and friends over there in the local congregation of San Antonio. Since we were talking about school, it brings back memories of me going to school over there in San Antonio, and a good part of me misses it. Keyword: a good part of me misses it.
Operative words to live by. Well, thank you again, everyone, for tuning in this evening. And be safe out there. And we'll see you next week.